No, let's go back to E3 2011. Do you all remember the buzz and the hype over Project Cafe going into that thing?
Yeah, they had a Zelda demo. It's very exciting.
What about like before E3 itself, though?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. You might remember Game Informer broke a hot exclusive about like, hey, we think Nintendo's HD console is actually going to be at E3 this year, which was very exciting.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah, on the Game Informer show, we talked about predictions. Matt Helgeson confidently guessed that Rockstar would have a big collaboration with Nintendo this generation. I think maybe like post credits on this episode, I'll put some of those old Game Informer show clips because they're kind of fun to go back and listen
appreciate
to.
that. That's cool. Cool, thanks for
He
that.
also had a lot of great insight. They made fun of the name, obviously, quite a bit. But we should actually listen to the grand debut of the console itself, just for setting the scene personally. I was very excited. It was my first E3, and I was live streaming the Nintendo press conference or archiving it. I'm not sure. But I was in the basement of the building, sitting next to Nintendo PR and stuff. And so when they announced the Wii U name, it was a moment of like, oh, look at that. Kept it secret. It was surprising to me that it was kept so hidden. No one had any idea about the name. But here's actually Reggie at E3 debuting this thing.
It was clear how much fun we all had playing together. But in thinking about a new Nintendo system, we knew the prevailing thought would be this. Yes, the game will probably still be right for all of us, but could it also be a perfect fit just for you? And the answer to that question is an emphatic absolutely. In fact, we're so convinced of it that we put that pronoun right in the name.
Google pronoun.
So today, welcome to the world of Wii U.
There we go. First applause. Someone broke that ice. There's still a little bit more here, I do believe.
It's a system we will all enjoy together, but also one that's tailor-made for you. The other word associations are easy. Is it unique, unifying, maybe even utopian? The answer is also yes, all of this. And here's the reason why.
And that's why in 2017...
This is the new controller for Wii U.
Some woos.
Someone was the first person to say woo.
It's different from anything you've played before. It's infinitely complex and yet perfectly simple, all at the same time.
Infinitely complex. Going back and watching that, it is unreal how much they just focus on the new controller. They don't call it gamepad, right? And this was still the version that had the circle pads instead of real joysticks on it.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
It's so fun to go back and look at footage of like Tim Turry playing early versions of all these Wii U prototypes with those circle pads. But the first time they show the console is in like the background of one of the debut videos where they are playing golf and swinging over the gamepad lying on the floor, right? There's so little emphasis put on the console itself, and it's just new controller, new controller. They just phrase that over and over again. It makes perfect sense why everyone's confused.
Yeah, and everybody thought it was just a new controller. And it was infinitely complex. That doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly. And also just the messaging out of the gate is confusing because they have like a highlight reel where they have luminaries like Warren Spector and Ken Levine getting on there and talking about, Ken Levine's like, finally, a console I can play in bed. This will be great to take it on the go. Which is basically what he's saying about the Switch on the podcast a couple weeks ago. And then Iwata comes out and explains, this is not a handheld console. And so everybody is just confused.
Levine's like,
what am I sitting in bed for?
And then he was like, wait, do people want a handheld console? Oh, crap.
Objection. Well, it actually is interesting because at that E3, Tim Turry and I sat down with the great Miyamoto, and I went back and read that interview. And Tim asked, Nintendo has made it clear that the Wii U controller is not a portable gaming device. Were there ever plans for it to be a self-contained system that you could take with you? Basically describing the Switch. Miyamoto says, that's a tough question. And then goes in talking about the power of TV, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And also he asks why they focus so much on the controller instead of the console itself. And Miyamoto's like, well, that's the new experience. Who cares about a console? But it just led to so much confusion. I know it's the drum that we keep beating.
You know what's funny is, shortly after, didn't Ken Levine announce BioShock Infinite coming to Vita? Like, does he just not understand how handhelds
That was that
like
same
work?
E3. All of the old podcasts, it's so fun because people transition from talking about Project Cafe to the NGP, which then became the Vita. In fact, Michael Pachter called Vita the second dumbest name for a device after the Wii U. That was his big report from at E3. Real quick as well, we're going to get to a more structured thing here, but I just find it really interesting. In the first highlight reel that they showed at E3, right after the reveal of the name, they show upcoming games coming for it. And everything else is just a prototype. They're on saying all this Nintendo stuff, the weird sparrow flying around the temple, these are all prototypes, right? New Super Mario Bros. U was called New Super Mario Bros. Me. So the first games that they debut, literally the first, there's 6. Darksiders 2, Dirt, Aliens Colonial Marines, Metro Last Light, Tekken, eventually Tag Tournament 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3. If you look at the lineup of games here, I dare you to find Dirt, Aliens Colonial Marines, or Metro Last Light. They are batting 500 for the 6 games they get out of the gate with, never were released for the system.
Wow. So wait, which one did release? Darksiders?
Darksiders 2, Tekken, and Ninja Gaiden 3.
And Darksiders 2 had already been out, right?
Yeah. They were all...
By
even
the time
Ninja...
they announced it.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Oh, actually...
I don't think it was out yet.
Oh, it's very close. If they were... It was like a matter of a month or something.
Yeah,
like
that certainly could be.
And then Ninja Gaiden, of course, I think it was Dan Reichert's review, had the nice... Ryu's Wii U debut, just like a really nice...
The best part about that is Dan didn't realize what he had done. He's so brainless when he types that he's like, oh, I guess that's kind of funny.
He turned into a dog.
And then he ate his chair. So in addition to 50% of the games they get out of the gate with not being released, also then John Riccitiello from EA and Guillemot from Ubisoft got up there. And Wade, I believe in the booth, you might have a clip of them talking.
In Assassin's Creed, you can just imagine what the multiplayer will look like with multiple screens.
Imagine a shooter